used though.
Did you see Kim accuse him of being a drug addict and force him to take a drug test after his visit? Oh my God, really? No, I'm unaware of the additional fucking drama, Kanye related drama, but what I am going to talk about now is the Joe Rogan experience. So after, and this is like something that I've known for a very, it's something I've known.
Hi, HasanAbi.
This is something that I've known for a very long time. Like Joe Rogan has like old clips where he's just like straight up blasting the N-word. I don't think he's done that in a while. Like I don't think he doesn't do that at all anymore. But I've been aware of this for a long ass time.
4 months of supporting
Okay.
Turkish king wouldn't
But
have any other way.
for a lot of people, it was like new controversy in the aftermath. Like in the aftermath of his like COVID denial shit, people found his like older fucking clips and
Foggies.
yeah, here, this is what you guys sent me. I think this is like the original thread that like really blew up. But Joe Rogan basically is just like saying the N-word in these clips. He's saying like hoping to see Planet of the Apes in a good neighborhood. We walked to the Black of the Planet of the Apes. He walked in the African dude. He walked in the door and there was no white people. Like he's saying he compared black people to apes. I don't know if we should show it again, but we can if you want. Like, but these aren't new. These are super old. It's like Brian Redband and like Joey Diaz. Like I've seen I've seen all these clips before. So here's the thing. The N-word stuff that's like some of it's clipped out of context because he's like saying the N-word because he thinks he's like allowed to say it when talking about it in a newsworthy way. I'm just gonna before I show you this stuff, I will, but this is unacceptable. Like this is just classic, like, you know, saying black people, compare black people to Planet of the Apes, right? But he also posted an apology about it, which I think is good. Like, look, I shit on Joe Rogan a lot, okay? I shit on Joe Rogan a lot. You guys know this. It's my favorite thing to do when it's valid, and it's my favorite thing to do when it is, you know, when I have girls over. No, I wouldn't say he's forced to apologize. I wouldn't say that at all. I think like the right is going to use this as an opportunity to fucking pull Joe further and further to the right. But the reality is that like this is something that I don't even know if he like actually apologized for this in the past, but I know for a fact that it's not something that he does anymore. This is like not an ongoing issue. You know what I mean? Did you see the right wingers are sharing a video of TYT host saying the N-word? There's a clip of you in there as well. There's a clip of me saying the N-word, really? It could be. It's probably fucking like a quote, like a newsworthy, like a quote from a news clip or something. Like where I'm reading someone else's quote. Why are you defending him? You love him too much? No, man. This is one issue where I've always been like super consistent on. It's like there's no way that like people on the Young Turks Network were just like straight up saying the N-word. Like no shot. No, it's a quarter of a second stretched out from you saying another word. Wait, really? Wait, let me see the clip. This is it. Anna Kasparian said, back in the day, we had a policy on TYT when covering gross statements made by racists. Instead of sanitizing their quotes with the N-word, we could read the quotes verbatim. Context does matter. Cancel me if you like, don't care. Yeah. And for the record, if you only take the clips of the word, you could do the same thing with Dave Anthony from the Dollop. Yeah, you could say that. You could say, this is, for the record, this is not even a thing that we have anymore. This is not a thing that the Young Turks does anymore. This is not a thing that I've done for a very, very long time for this specific reason. Like, does that make sense? Like, so that, because it's not all right to say.
You're a socialist and you won't even let you borrow your car, Saj.
But the thing that the clip isn't even 1 second long, that's how clip chimped it is. This nigger. Yeah, I mean, it's like half of a second. Joe Biden is quite literally more racist than Joe Rogan. What kind of take is this? And this guy, wait, so like, is this guy pro Biden? Like, this is what I don't understand. So like, I threw my hat in the ring, right? I threw my hat in the ring and I said, like, it's kind of wild that people are fucking even comparing this. Like, Joe Rogan is nowhere near as damaging to black people as fucking Joe Biden is, right? Like, you know, Jim Crow Joe. And it's so strange. Where like, what is your dog in this fight? You know what I mean? But anyway, I don't know why the fuck I'm getting dragged into this. Everybody knows what my thing is. People didn't read your next tweet in the reply. They thought you just meant Biden saying it in transcript. People know what my take is. Like, I literally used to say the N-word as well. Like, it's something that I've talked about before. Not the hard R N-word, but like when I was in Turkey, oh my God, of course. There's literally a Turkish rapper who has the N-word with a soft A tattooed on him. It's not like, I know every time I fucking say this, people always throw this up. Like, yeah, I did. Like, I've talked about this a million times, dude. What the fuck? But it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. If you want to fucking, if you think that that means that I'm a racist person, if you think that that means that like I am, if you think that that means that like anything about me, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay, yeah, I'm a racist, you know? It's not even young and edgy, for the record. Like, in Turkey, you don't even think about it. We have literally a chocolate, or not even a chocolate, an Oreo, like a Turkish version of an Oreo that is like not the N-word, but the Spanish word for black that they recently changed, like literally last year, because there aren't any black people in Turkey. It's just the truth. There's like 12 black Turkish people. There's like 12 Afro Turks. Part of the reason for that is because of Turkey participating in equal opportunity slavery in general, and not necessarily doing chattel slavery, and not doing what the Western colonies did. But I recognize it. Like, I live in America. Like, I live in America. I understood that it was unacceptable, and I stopped. You know what I mean? So I don't know what you want. You want to fucking kill me? Go ahead. Like, you know what I mean? It's not something I can change. So yeah, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, for the rest of the world, especially like in places where there's no there aren't like a high population of black people and like black culture, it's a fascinating thing for people to learn about American culture, because American culture is black culture. That's it. It's the number one cultural export. And that's because capitalist businesses, capitalist industries, specifically Hollywood, love exploiting black people for their culture. And then that's the forward-facing side of American culture. You're going to apologize? You're not going to apologize? For what, dumbass? What do you mean? Apologize for what? Shut the fuck up. You got caught, brother. GG, you're not going to apologize? I'm not going to apologize for shit. Suck my dick, idiot. What the fuck do you mean? Yeah, dude, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm sorry that I fucking, like, I don't even know what I'm apologizing for. For what? Like, what did I do wrong?
For our Turkish warlord.
Anyway, so
Also, imagine a podcast with XQC where you discuss politics and other garbage.
as I was saying,
Jungle, featuring the
that still doesn't make it all right, right? That still does not make it all right, which is why I don't do it.
Hello me again.
And I think that Anna recognizes that. I think TYT recognizes that. I mean, they are not even saying the N-word here for, you know, funsies or making like racist jokes or anything like that. They're saying it in a news context, which they no longer find appropriate either. They stopped doing that. But the same could be said for Joe Rogan. And that's why people are going to probably get mad at me on this. But like, I don't think Joe Rogan says race shit like that. And it's not because like he was young back then and he changed. But I'm pretty sure that like some of this stuff is news contextually, you know, in a similar capacity to the Young Turks' clips. Some of it is because he did say it.
QC.
Okay. And then there's also the completely unacceptable one, which is the Planet of the Apes joke, right? Like, that's just like, that is just really, really racist. No use fucking dancing around that or anything like that. It's just racist. It's just straight up a racist ass fucking joke that like every black person in here has heard a million times over. It's so common. It's so hacky. Like, it's just the most obvious, horrible thing, okay?
Take me to this one.
This one
and the guy
specifically.
Goes, okay. Goes, that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walked into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked.
as fucking Joe Biden is, right? Like, you know, Jim Crow Joe. And it's so strange. Where like, what is your dog in this fight? You know what I mean? But anyway, I don't know why the fuck I'm getting dragged into this. Everybody knows what my thing is. People didn't read your next tweet in the reply. They thought you just meant Biden saying it in transcript. People know what my take is. Like, I literally used to say the N-word as well. Like, it's something that I've talked about before. Not the hard R N-word, but like when I was in Turkey, oh my God, of course. There's literally a Turkish rapper who has the N-word with a soft A tattooed on him. It's not like, I know every time I fucking say this, people always throw this up like, yeah, I did. Like, I've talked about this a million times, dude. What the fuck? But it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. If you want to fucking, if you think that that means that I'm a racist person, if you think that that means that like I am, if you think that that means that like anything about me, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay, yeah, I'm a racist, you know? It's not even young and edgy, for the record. Like, in Turkey, you don't even think about it. We have literally a chocolate, or not even a chocolate, an Oreo, like a Turkish version of an Oreo that is like not the N-word, but the Spanish word for black that they recently changed, like literally last year, because there aren't any black people in Turkey. It's just the truth. There's like 12 black Turkish people. There's like 12 Afro Turks. Part of the reason for that is because of Turkey participating in equal opportunity slavery in general, and not necessarily doing chattel slavery, and not doing what the Western colonies did. But I recognize it. Like, I live in America. Like, I live in America. I understood that it was unacceptable, and I stopped. You know what I mean? So I don't know what you want. You want to fucking kill me? Go ahead. Like, you know what I mean? It's not something I can change. So, yeah, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, for the rest of the world, especially like in places where there's no there aren't like a high population of black people and like black culture, it's a fascinating thing for people to learn about American culture, because American culture is black culture. That's it. It's the #1 cultural export. And that's because capitalist businesses, capitalist industries, specifically Hollywood, love exploiting black people for their culture. And then that's the forward-facing side of American culture. You're going to apologize? You're not going to apologize? For what, dumbass? What do you mean? Apologize for what? Shut the fuck up. You got caught, brother. GG, you're not going to apologize? I'm not going to apologize for shit. Suck my dick, idiot. What the fuck do you mean? Yeah, dude, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm sorry that I fucking, like, I don't even know what I'm apologizing for. For what? Like, what did I do wrong? Anyway, so
also Imagine a podcast with XQC where you discuss politics and other garbage.
As I was
Politics in the
saying,
jungle, featuring the
that still doesn't make it. That still doesn't make it all right, right? That still does not make it all right. Which is why I don't do it.
Hello me again.
And I think that Anna recognizes that. I think TYT recognizes that. I mean, they are not even saying the N-word here for, you know, funsies or making like racist jokes or anything like that. They're saying it in a news context, which they no longer find appropriate either. They stopped doing that. But the same could be said for Joe Rogan. Then that's why people are going to probably get mad at me on this. But like, I don't think Joe Rogan says racist shit like that. And it's not because like he was young back then and he changed. But I'm pretty sure that like some of this stuff is news contextually, you know, in a similar capacity to the Young Turks' clips. Some of it is because he did say it.
QC.
Okay. And then there's also the completely unacceptable one, which is the Planet of the Apes joke, right? Like that is just really, really racist. No use fucking dancing around that or anything like that. It's just racist. It's just straight up a racist ass fucking joke that like every black person in here has heard a million times over. It's so common. It's so hacky. Like it's just the most obvious, horrible thing. Okay.
Take me to this one.
This one
And the guy goes,
specifically.
okay. He goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walked into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people.
So that's like completely, that's just like very, very obvious, very fucking bad, hacky ass, racist ass jokes. No two ways about it. Totally gross, totally awful. There's a reason why it's in fucking 1P, because it's from like 10, 12, I don't know how many fucking years ago, right? And that is like very definitionally, that is like the racist ass one, right? Like all of that is racist as fuck. The reason why it's resurfacing now is because people are using that as an opportunity because of all the other shit that he's done that is, I think, really damaging, like the COVID denial and all this, you know, the vaccine conspiracies, all this other shit that he's promoting. And that's precisely why they're talking about this. They're like resurfaced all of that, okay? I mean, motherfuckers still had hair back then. Like, that's how you know this shit is old, right? So here's what he had to say. I didn't watch the entire thing. I did watch like up to here, I think. And I thought it was pretty reasonable. I wanna play all of it though, and I want to talk about it as quickly as possible here.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about.
Oh, before I do that though, I totally as damaged, hacky ass, racist ass jokes. No two ways about it. Totally gross. Totally awful. There's a reason why it's in fucking 1P, because it's from like 10, 12, I don't know how many fucking years ago, right? And that is like very definitionally, that is like the racist ass one, right? Like all of that is racist as fuck. The reason why it's resurfacing now is because people are using that as an opportunity because of all the other shit that he's done that is, I think, really damaging, like the COVID denial and all this, you know, the vaccine conspiracies, all this other shit that he's promoting. And that's precisely why they're talking about this. They're like resurfaced all of that, okay? I mean, motherfuckers still had hair back then. Like, that's how you know this shit is old, right? So here's what he had to say. I didn't watch the entire thing. I did watch like up to here, I think. And I thought it was pretty reasonable. I wanna play all of it though, and I want to talk about it as quickly as possible here.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about.
Oh fuck! Before I do that though, I totally forgot to run the ad break. Sorry. Top of the hour. I gotta run an ad break right now. You know. Top of the hour every hour. It's the most racist thing I do for the entire broadcast. I do it once every hour. But listen, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is, you know, you can subscribe. Dick 4 with the 50 big ones. Okay, you can subscribe for $5 or for free, or you can give 50 fucking gifted subs, and that way you can avoid the top of the hour ad break. You know what I'm saying? That's one way to do it. But if you're not lucky, you can make your own luck by subscribing for $5, or if you don't have $5, subscribing for free with the Twitch Prime. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
The most.
And for the record, like, you know, Ethan Klein has apologized for exactly a similar thing. You guys know this. I've defended him as well. I defend people that I disagree with, or defend people that I agree with. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, if someone has demonstrated growth, if someone has already stopped and have personally rehabilitated, why the fuck am I gonna constantly bring it up unless it's like relevant to the conversation? If Joe Rogan was still doing like hella racist shit right now, okay, if he was like constantly trying to dog whistle or be as racist as possible against black people specifically, and like, you know, doing shit like that, okay, and that's when you bring up the old stuff that he did to be like, look, this is a long history of his racism. Then that's different. But for the most part, I don't think that, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that he's like, I think that comment about Michael Eric Dyson and blackness during Jordan Peterson interview helped kick this off. That probably is a part of it. He's just a dumbass. Like, he is the racism here of Joe Rogan's like racism is like not the Joe Rogan's racism from 12 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like old, out of touch white guy racism, which is expected to some degree. It doesn't make it all right. It doesn't make it appropriate. But like the old stuff, that was actually fucking racist. And I don't think he's like that. I think he has actually gotten a lot better. But let's hear what he has to say.
Regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a
like this is correct. Like I think that this is not only correct but good.
Long time when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation and instead of saying the N word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly.
So this is for the times where he's like said it while like, you know, talking about the word or anything like that. That is understandably something that he's apologizing for. I don't think he talks at all about the Planet of the Apes thing. Like that one is worse for sure. In my opinion, that is more hateful and more racist than him just saying the N-word. Like when he's talking about the N-word, you know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know if he talks about it, but maybe he will.
Or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody a word, just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it and it could be a punchline, it could be a term of endearment, it could be lyrics to a rap song, it could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up.
I mean, this is the part, this is the extent of what I watch. And up to this point, 100%, like this is valid. Obviously, it's not my place. I'm a fucking white dude. Not only am I a white dude, but I'm a white dude who grew up in Turkey, okay? I'm a white dude who grew up only seeing black people and black culture in Hollywood. That's just the fucking, you know, that's just the reality. Like that's not, you know, there isn't like a black culture in Turkey in the same way. There aren't black people in Turkey in the same way. So up to this point, though, I do think this is like a person.
USA.
Do it anymore. White dude. Not only am I a white dude, but I'm a white dude who grew up in Turkey. Okay, I'm a white dude who grew up only seeing black people and black culture in Hollywood. That's just the fucking, you know, that's just the reality. Like that's not, you know, there isn't like a black culture in Turkey in the same way. There aren't black people in Turkey in the same way. So up to this point, though, I do think this is like a person who legitimately is like, yeah, no, this is fucked up. Like, this is not, what I did was inappropriate and I'm sorry and I don't do it anymore.
And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, holy shit, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes, over 12 years. I've said a lot of fucking stupid shit.
By the way, for when he's out of context, or when he says he's out of context, what he's talking about in that situation is like the Young Turks clip that's going around. You know what I mean? Like, in it, maybe not even to the same degree, because like contextually, the fucking TYT hosts are not racist. Like, in any case, like most of the fucking clips that they found, that they pulled, they're literally talking about, most of the clips that they found, they're quite literally talking about like the Young Turks covering white supremacy and racist shit from an anti-racist, anti-white supremacist point of view. So it's really fucking idiotic when like reactionaries clip shit like that and go, "Oh, look at that," which is very different still, okay? When you even apply context to the Joe Rogan situation, because like he still is doing the Planet of the Apes joke at that time, you know what I mean? So like that stuff is racist. Like that is absolutely fucking racist. Let's continue. I'm gonna look at all the other stuff. He made his guest say it last year. That sort of shit, like I'll look at okay. I'll look at after. Okay, let's just continue with this for now.
It's fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said, we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but
I mean, you did. It's the joke. The joke that you made is bad. It's hacky. It's hacky. It's bad. It's fucking... This is literally worse than like reading out the N-word in a quote, or is so much worse than like, it's just bad. It's not good. There's no reason to fucking defend that. Like, there's no reason to try and defend that. It's like, I think one thing that we need to do as human beings is be like, look, I fucked up. You know what I mean? That's fucked up. It's horrible. Because, like, it's not like he's going to refine that bit and make that joke again. Because the ultimate point of that joke literally is that, black people are like apes, right? Don't say it's a joke, holy fuck. Because I am the comedy defender here, okay? I'm the comedy defender here. Even from a comedic standpoint, you should just admit that that's hacky as fuck. Like, that is the most hacky fucking thing you can say. Okay? It is. Racist jokes, even if you're thinking about it from the point of view of fucking trying to make comedy, Racist jokes are hacky as fuck. It's literally bottom of the fucking barrel. It is just the worst. Anyway, we know you defend some garbage ass jokes sometimes. Yes, I'm sorry that I don't live in your fucking idiotic worldview. Anyway, but my point is this. Remember, my point is always this. You should be able to fucking own the bad shit that you did, apologize, and move on and demonstrate growth, okay? So the environment that we're in, obviously, people that refuse to do that are at fault. And also on the other side, like when people do that, you still won't let them fucking live. You know what I mean? And it's really fucked up and it's really stupid. It's just like let people apologize. Joe Rogan should. I don't know if he is right now. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like he's trying to still defend it. But like, people fuck up. People say bad things. People can even be actual fucking racists, okay? People can be like literally fucking racist people. There are Nazis that are no longer Nazis anymore. You know, life after hate. Like there are organizations that directly work with people that get pulled out of far right radicalization chambers, okay, and are no longer like that. If you don't believe in rehabilitation, you're not a fucking progressive. If you don't believe that people can change for the better, you're not a fucking progressive. It's one of the most annoying parts about American culture.
11 months since
okay,
mom abandoned me at this daycare.
It sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there.
See? He said, I mean...
I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But
we know what you were trying to say, bro. You're still fucking, you know... Anyway, whatever. He's like... He's saying it's racist. He admits that it's racist, but he's still like trying to fucking defend it. I don't know. It's just not great. That part is not great, apology wise.
It's like we were in.
That's a light 3, okay? On the Fantano scale, I'm rating that part of the apology a light 2, not even a 3.
Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that.
12 months.
And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then
yeah, we get the joke. I don't know why he's trying to explain it. He's literally saying like, no, the joke is that like black people are apes. he's literally like, look, Planet of the Apes, not in Africa, but black people are like apes. Like, you know, that was the joke. Yeah, that's the point. That's why people are mad about that one. That one is kind of bad. Okay. It's not good. Come on, bro.
Our
about that one.
Sounded like that.
12 months.
And
of
I
Hasan
immediately
Abi.
afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then
Yeah, we get the joke. I don't know why he's trying to explain it. He's literally saying like, no, the joke is that like black people are apes. he's literally like, look, Planet of the Apes, not in Africa, but black people are like apes. Like, you know, that was the joke. Yeah, that's the point. That's why people are mad about that one. That one is kind of bad. Okay. It's not good. Come on, bro. Okay, let's continue.
I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say. And I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And I certainly would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism. My hope is that, look, I can't go back in time and change what I've said. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. But I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies. I wish there was more that I could say, but all of this is just me talking from the bottom of my heart. It makes me sick watching that video, but hopefully at least some of you will accept this and understand where I'm coming from. My apologies and much love. My sincere, deepest apologies and much love.
I mean, he is apologizing. He is. It's not great, but I mean, it's the worst thing is like, listen. There's probably a million more clips like this, okay? From old clips, from new times, clips from like even now when he said shit that's like sussy, like the whole I'm not, I'm white, but I'm not, I'm Italian, that sort of shit. Like, it's this is like 2016 2014 era Obabe, under Obabe type fucking culture wars all over again. I don't know. Look, I don't know why he said I was not trying to be racist when they clearly racist. That just makes it worse. Yeah, like here's the reality, okay? I think he recognizes that it's racist. He's trying to fucking cope with like his own ego while also recognizing that the joke is racist and apologizing for it as best as possible over here. Because the ape one is like way more racist than like talking about the N-word contextually. You know what I mean? Like, I know most people will just hear him say the N-word and get in hyper focus, laser focus on that. But like the ape one is like actually a racist joke. You know what I mean? That's like actually a racist joke because the punchline of the ape one is that like black people are the apes, and that is, you know, that's not joking. That's like you're fucking, even if you're trying to joke, you're, you know, doing it in a way where your joke is just racist. Like the only people that'll laugh at that would be like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, like that's the fucking joke. Like, okay, the joke is what? That you think black people are like apes? That's not funny unless you're literally a racist person. But ultimately, worse than the ape one. Like there, people are. I'm sure you're gonna find other ones that are even worse. I mean, dude, look at this. Like, what is this? Is this even more racist shit? I don't even know what the fuck this is. Like, look at that, bro. Listen, if Joe Rogan has hair in the clips that you're sending me, it's fucking 12 years ago, okay? If it's in 1P, if it's in fucking 1P, you're sending me clips from Joe Rogan from like many, many years ago, okay? Not that the hair itself, is the reason why he is this way, but it's too weird as a black man to hear him defend, so he's got to get help. It's like saying it was a different time. It's not. Yeah. No. It's still. What is this? Where is this coming from? Okay, well, the joke is already fucking reading out in the clip. What was this? This was like he peer pressured his guest into saying the N-word.
You won't say it.
I've been a fan for a good few years, but now I'm a worker and use your JCS Vince's background audio to
Music of Twitch 2021 later. I feel like Zoomers failed to recognize that the internet was a wildly different place 10 years ago. I mean, it was still unacceptable back then, though. Like, that's the... Bro, this shit wasn't acceptable back then either. Like, people still did it, and they pushed boundaries, but it was still fucked up. Okay? It's like saying... what do you call it? It's like saying, oh, well, slavery was acceptable. It was a different time when the fucking founding fathers were around. It's like, yeah, to who, motherfucker? Not to the black people. You know what I mean? It's still
On my track.
bad behavior. Okay, well, the joke is already fucking reading out in the clip. What was this? This was like he peer pressured his guest into saying the N-word.
You won't say it.
I've been a fan for a good few years, but now I'm a worker and use your JCS Vince's background audio to
Music of Twitch 2021 later. I feel like Zoomers failed to recognize that the internet was a wildly different place 10 years ago. I mean, it was still unacceptable back then, though. Like, that's the... Bro, this shit wasn't acceptable back then either. Like, people still did it, and they pushed boundaries, but it was still fucked up. Okay? It's like saying, what do you call it? It's like saying, oh, well, slavery was acceptable. It was a different time when the fucking founding fathers were around. It's like, yeah, to who, motherfucker? Not to the black people. You know what I mean? It's still bad. It's still bad behavior. Like, you still, you know, you can, in a lot of instances, it is. The reason why it's so difficult to fucking apologize for shit like this is because, like, you're apologizing for a different person than who you are. Okay? You're literally apologizing for someone who you used to be, someone who you are no longer like, someone who embarrasses you. Like, looking back at, like, old shit that you did. It embarrasses you. It's embarrassing. You've changed, right? Especially if you've changed, and you know, looking back at that stuff, it's just like it's whack. Especially if you've literally fucking, you know, especially if you've apologized, especially if you've, like, you know, changed and don't do that anymore. And that's why I always talk about, like, this sort of thing. And people get mad at me whenever I talk about this sort of thing, because people are like, well, you're a white guy. You've changed, i.e. you've become famous. Yeah, totally. Like when Ethan Klein said the N-word, he was not famous at all. Or when Joe Rogan was saying the N-word, he was not famous at all. You're right. Motherfucker, he hosted the Fear Factor at that point. What the fuck are you talking about, idiot? No, he was still famous. He was very famous. Like, you're wrong. No, it's not because they changed because of fame or whatever. Okay? He was still fucking famous. I hate when people do that. I hate when people do that. Like, there are plenty of fucking racist people who don't, they still try to be racist. Like, what do you want? As a black guy, it's a decent apology for what it is. Him saying he was racist wouldn't change the fact that he said what he said. It's just lip service at the end of the day. Yeah. I think so too. Just don't try and tell us not to be mad because he made a good apology video, because he's changed to not saying the N-word in fear of public retaliation. I mean, ultimately, I don't care. Okay? This is not what I care about. I don't think I think Joe Rogan is way more damaging when he has, like, fucking white nationalists like Stephen Molyneux on his podcast. He's way more damaging when he's, like, fucking offering credence and offering relevance in his platform to, like, Gavin McInnes that goes on and creates the Proud Boys and Milo Yiannopoulos. I think Joe Rogan is way more damaging when he's spreading COVID misinformation. Okay? Racism is all around America, okay? We just covered a 22-year-old delivery driver, a DoorDash driver, okay, get fucking destroyed on his own couch in his own fucking apartment on a no-knock raid in Minneapolis. Joe Rogan is not responsible for that. And Joe Rogan's racism offenses, with respect to how racist the American fucking the American society has been constructed in perpetuity from its fundamentals all the way to contemporary society, is not. He's on a completely different playing field than Joe Rogan be like, I'm sorry, I fucking said racist jokes when I had hair. And, you know, and then tried to still, with his ego, defend it too. Like, because he does. He definitely does fucking defend it here. Where he's like, oh, I didn't mean like black people were Babes, but I kind of did mean it, but like I didn't mean to mean it. Like, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay? So I'm not allowed to be mad at him? No, I'm saying you can. You can be as mad at him as you want. It's valid. Get mad at him. Okay? I'm not telling, when I said I don't care, I mean like, I don't personally care. You can do whatever you want. Okay?
Frown.
No apology is going to be perfect, and I don't think he is like the same level of prejudice as he once was. He's still, of course, prejudiced. So many people are, okay? So many people have racist tendencies. It's very hard to shake. He had these until he was like, even when he was famous, even well into his adulthood. Very difficult for him to shake that sort of shit. I've heard a million different fucking apologies from a million different people being fucking racist. And this one is higher on the ranks as far if we're like ranking who the fuck is being genuine. Okay? But ultimately in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, like I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't. This is like people are fucking what do you call it? People are like upset about this because they just saw it. I've known about this for a long time. I don't know. Maybe it's just like and obviously because I'm privileged, I'm a white person. And or more importantly, I'm not a black person, okay, that grew up in the United States of America. From where I'm standing, it's like a dude who I've heard a million times over say things that I've heard a million times over, saying and probably repeating all of those fucking things that a bunch of you have probably said on the internet as well, without having a major fucking a major platform that you have benefited from not saying it on a major platform, and you've grown from. You know what I mean? You've grown and you've changed. The charitable non-racist interpretation is he saw only black people, made a "we're in Africa" joke, and then thought Africa is the continent where the most wildlife apes. No. I think he was literally trying to fucking basically was not directly calling black people apes directly, but saying it's a commonality of the continent. But he should have said so clearly, if that's the case. It doesn't, like, no, it was just racist as fuck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, since he has spread false information about COVID, I don't care if he gets nailed on a cross for other reasons. Yeah, like I just, focus your energy and effort on like the contemporary shit that does matter, because in the grand scheme of things, when you think about this sort of stuff, to the average American, to most people on the planet, okay? To most people on the fucking planet, this weakens the overall argument because they see that they see themselves in Joe Rogan. We live in a racist society. We live in a white supremacist society. White supremacist social conditioning is like a fundamental part of this. That's why,
Stephen.
That's why when you grow up as a black person in America, okay, when you grow up as a black person in America and you go to a public school and you're getting the whitest education possible, you yourself end up learning less about your own background, about your own heritage, about your own history, okay? So, like, of course, a white dude on top of that is going to have fucking racist-ass takes. It's what you do when you learn and what you grow, that's what matters, okay? And, ultimately, when we cover this sort of stuff, when we get like super mad about this sort of stuff, when like this motherfucker was being racist as hell 12 years ago or whatever, when he's like, when you can't really find anything. Whitest education, LMFAO, you're such a prejudiced, undercover racist. Like this guy, okay? This guy can't even fucking figure it out. Like he's literally offended, okay? He is offended that I'm saying that like American public education is white supremacist in its inception, and the values that they pump out in American education very rarely ever fucking it considers the black perspective from a from a human point of view. Me saying that is making this fragile little pussy so fucking mad. Look at this. It's whitewash history. That's the reason why you're like, the only fucking MLK quote you hear is, oh, I have a dream that white people and black people can coexist together, without analyzing the material conditions or the social conditions for black people at the time. Okay? So, dude is a white meathead comedian wannabe. What do people expect? Yeah, exactly. So I see it, like I understand it, I recognize it, I know where it's coming from. But slavery was so long ago, why can't you just get over it? We were commissioned to create a graph tattoo showing how it wasn't all that long ago. Yeah, dude. There you go. So why do you use the word pussy? I don't know, cause I'm a fucking bad person, dude. That's why, okay? That's why because I'm a bad person, and you should fucking cancel me as well.
Mainline liquid dish soap to cure my scabies.
So where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Okay, so as I was saying, and this is like this sort of stuff is like analyzed in the most like hyper individual atomized way. You're complaining about cancel culture essentially. No, I think there's a valid and reasonable fucking thing to like get upset over Joe Rogan about, and that is not if Joe Rogan's making these jokes right now, then holy fuck, that's completely unacceptable. Okay, just like, but if someone has already made these fucking jokes back in the day, and they don't do that anymore, and they've very clearly, they deleted it, they very clearly recognized that it was unacceptable, then I don't know what you want from people. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what you want from motherfuckers who like have apologized for it, right? It's just very frustrating to constantly fucking have to rehash shit that you've done in the past that you that you know is inappropriate and unacceptable. And when I see Joe Rogan talking about this, like, and that's the reason why there's a lot of There's a lot of black people in this chat that are also not fond of Joe Rogan for many, many different things that are looking at this and going, this is not the worst apology that I've ever heard. Like, he's not doubling down to say, like, oh, I have black friends. He's not fucking saying all this other shit that you hear from a million different people who aren't actually apologetic. It's more so that he is embarrassed, understandably so, about things that he said in the past. And he's trying to say, like, I'm not, you know, I'm not a racist person, even though I did make racist jokes back then. But not everyone knows how to fucking atone for their sins, per se, under the gospel of liberalism. For real, so get the fuck over it, chat. Beating racism one person at a time is never gonna work. It's just like, yeah. Does the US this time good for vacation? Planning to go, but a bit scared of the COVID? I don't know, it's up to you. Yeah, the trans stuff, like, you don't hear him fucking apologize for transphobia because he's fucking transphobic. You know what I mean? Anyway. So that's what I got. Only doubling down is that he's embarrassed and trying to dodge the bullet. It's whack, but white people do it all the time. The point is he understands it was wrong and isn't going to do it anymore. And he hasn't done it. And it's whatever. I don't need every white person to apologize perfectly. Also, I don't give a fuck. I hate him anyway. Also, what up, black hossy heads? So, yeah, I mean, people don't know how to win arguments. Let him come to your side. What? Ultimately, though, the thing that is like, the thing that is unproductive about this conversation is that, like, there are legitimate ways to talk about this and be like, damn, this is like fucked up that Joe said this. Okay? But now, for the average American who is way more racist than fucking Joe is now, and definitely as racist as Joe was back then, okay? And or even to the average American who was as racist as Joe Rogan and is no longer as racist, right? They look at this and they go, oh, what the fuck? The liberal loony left is going again. They're crazy. They're going again. Does that make sense? the fuck? So it almost we go back into the cancel culture argument, and the unfortunate reality is it's just the left is never gonna win that. It's just not gonna happen. What is this? Yuck! Imagine you're shopping and you see these two. What the fuck? Why they posed for it? I mean, whatever, dude.
6 months.
Play the race science Joe Rogan clip. It goes a bit beyond. The ape one is already. It's enough for me to know that he was that was a racist fucking joke, dude. And I'm sure this is gonna be racist as fuck too.
One of those, you know that he's got some black in him, but how much?
How much?
What's going on here?
Are you asking me to strip Joe Rogan right now?
What are you?
Dad's black, mom's white. Standard issue, pretty much.
Powerful combination genetic-wise, right? You get the body of the black man, and then you get the mind of the white man all together in some strange combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the strongest combinations of all time.
I would say so.
Yeah, you get the body of the black man, and then you get the mind of Fred.
What the fuck? Is the guy... Wait, is the guy he's talking to... He's talking to a black person. Isn't he? Isn't Freddie Lockhart, isn't he black?
Tee up in Canada the other day and rocking today. HasanAbi Hasan.
This is literally like fucking... I mean, this is like race science shit. I mean, straight up. Yeah, that's like, ugh.
Black chatters hassle has high.
He's kind of suggesting that black people are dumb paint champ. No, he's not kind of suggesting it. That is the point. No, he's literally saying that. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a kind suggestion. There's nothing kind about that at all. That's just race science shit, dude. That's literally... No, that's what he's saying. That's precisely what he's saying. Literally, the actually black people have lower IQ. This is out of context, right? Him using the man's logic against them. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but I'm sure like more videos like this will resurface as well. For sure. He's half that. Yeah, he is half dad African American, mom English. Italian English. Oh, so he's literally he's making the race science argument to the fucking person about their own personal background. Jesus Christ, dude. Bro, that is literally okay. Okay, let me just say something, okay? First of all, this is just, again, pure, unadulterated, racist bullshit. Pure, unadulterated racist bullshit. Joe Rogan to a guest who said he has a black dad and a white mom. Powerful combination genetic-wise, right? You get the body of a black man, and then you get the mind of a white man all together in some strange combination. Black people have a different brain. Oh my fucking lord.
Dad's black, mom's white. Standard issue, pretty much.
Powerful combination genetic-wise, right? You get the body of the black man, and then you get the mind of the white man all together in some strange combination. That doesn't, by the way, mean that black people don't have brains. It's a different brain. Don't get me. What are you yet?
Are you trying to cancel Joe Rogan? No, I'm not. I can't. There is no such thing. That's not a real thing. Okay? Go ahead if you want to. It's not just going to work. Check his log on Twitch. Wait, he streams on Twitch? The dude, Freddie Lockhart? He's never chatted in here. He's never been in here. Mind of a white man, body of a white woman, in the body of a black man from a body of a black woman. Wait, what the fuck? No, he's... Someone in the chat said Joe meant this as a compliment. Dude, he did. That's how fucking insidious racism is. That's how fucking powerful racism is. That's how powerful white supremacy is. He thinks he's being complimentary to a half black, half white person when he's saying that, not realizing how fucking racist he's being. That's my point. It's a part of your life. It's a part of your everyday existence, because when you live in America, when you grow up in America, you think that's a fucking compliment, dude. Okay? Why the fuck do we talk about this shit all day, every goddamn day? And other white people also think that, for the record, okay? They think that that's like, oh, what, I don't understand what the fuck Joe was saying that was like wrong. He's just talking to a black guy, you know? Like that's the point. That's the fucking point. So being able to overcome that, or being able to like recognize that that's bad, okay? And changing your attitude, especially when like there's a sea of there's a sea of like confirmation that you can get from other people who also feel that way, when like every part of the media is telling you that that's all right. That is, you know, it's hard to fucking shake that. Straight up. That's why, I mean, it's like, it's no different. What Joe did here is literally no fucking different than like when we watch Black White, you know? And we saw, and it was educational. It was awesome because it showed the varying degrees of like racist behavior that a lot of times like non-black people engage in towards black people without recognizing. Like, we've talked about it before. There's like a tier system, you know what I mean? There's like the entry level racism. There's like the fucking secondary, third, and then the final tier of racism is like when you're literally like a Klansman, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Like he's just like, Joe's like a couple steps underneath, but like not by a lot when he's saying this, when he still thinks it's like a positive thing. Okay? He doesn't think this is like an offensive thing to say. He's not even recognizing how fucking racist this is to say. You understand? Why are black emotes disabled in this chat? Because your name is Force Enjoy Juice Time, bro. You know why black emotes are disabled in this chat. Don't make me log you in fucking Forsen's channel, okay? Like, I wonder why. I wonder why black emotes are disabled in this chat, dude. Well, you got me, because I'm fucking racist, I think. That's probably why, right? I wonder why I did that, dude. It's weird. Anyway. Not enough people know about sociology. Everyone undergoes socialization from the moment that they're born. Yeah. So you are so well spoken. Can I touch your hair? You're pretty for a black girl. Can you get sunburnt? Levels of racism exist. Yeah, it's like it's like what people talk about when they say microaggression and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's still coming from a place of otherizing black people. So why do you think the guy he was talking to just said, yeah, I literally agreed and didn't care about what Joe said? I mean, look, I can't speak on this because I'm not a black person. From obviously my own personal experience. The only thing I can do is judge this by what I've heard from my black friends about these sorts of conversations. But if you're a black person or if you're half black, you're conditioned into, you're quite literally conditioned into you know, appealing to the sensibilities of the white majority around you. It's just as simple as that. So even in that situation, when you're like having a conversation with a person who's like saying otherwise like very racist shit, it's a really awkward position to be in socially, because you never want to fucking be like, oh, that's racist as fuck, bro, shut the fuck up. You have to fit in. Many of you chatters don't realize that like your one black friend in fucking middle school that was the only black kid at school that you constantly went up to get like the N-word pass was probably doing it at first out of obligation and to try to fit in. And then maybe after a certain while, he himself was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this because this is like positive affirmations that I'm getting from white people, not recognizing until many years later. And there's probably some fucking, you know, black kids in the chat right now that are that used to feel that way, that recognize that later on that like that still comes from a fucking place of being otherized. And like your only utility as a black person in that situation was allowing and excusing other white people's racism. That sucks. Okay? It sucks. The other part of that, there's, remember how I said like the fucking varying degrees of racism? It works both ways. There's varying degrees of like trying to appeal to racist values without recognizing it, conditioning yourself, training yourself to fucking be that way. That's why code switching originally is like a term that black people used. Code switching. Like as in you code switch when you're around white people to speak like a white person. Okay? You're describing my life as one of the two black people in my Catholic school from K through 8. Anyway, so that is how it is. It's just the way it is. It's a super complex situation that many people still refuse to recognize. and act like it doesn't exist. And it's very frustrating. I don't know what else to fucking say about it other than like it's just really fucking frustrating that people won't even see it. And that's it. And that affirmation, that reinforcement that like people get, that they desperately seek out, is the justification that helps them continue being the way that they are, because they feel like, all right, we got it. Like, we got it. I have a black friend. He doesn't care. You know? And that shit sucks. It probably breaks your fucking brain too if you're like a black kid growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood and you're just like, holy fuck. You know? That's where it comes from. Anyway. My white friends in high school constantly knowing if I spoke out I'd be killing the vibe or being lame. Took me years to break out of that. Yeah, there's like, when I don't use AV around black people, around white people, I've had them ask me if I can talk black. Lamau. Anyway, so just recognize all that, okay? Recognize all that, and that's literally part of the reason why, you know, I tell you at the top of the hour there's a 60-second ad break, you know what I mean? And that if you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. For $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, you know? Oh no! How else would I be able to fucking purchase a Porsche, bitch? These are the segues that people keep coming back for, you know what I'm saying? Yo!